All right, in this video, we're gonna be talking about ABO versus CBO, one of the most debated topics in the Facebook ads space, and I'm gonna give you my take on it right now. Let's jump over my iPad and get started. Okay, so I've got this pulled up right here. This is where we would select if we're gonna use a ABO or CBO campaign budget, okay? This is done at the campaign level right here, and then what we're gonna be selecting is how do we want the Meta to spend our budget, okay? Do we want it to be a campaign budget or an ad set budget? At the campaign level, this is allowing Meta the full control of what ads get spent. With the ABO, ad set budget optimization, we are in full control of what ads and what targeting gets the spend. Now, we're gonna go through in this video here, like for what optimization events should we be using ABO versus CBO? So I'm gonna break that down, but before I do, I wanna just share more about why this matters in the first place, okay? So this was made by Claude. I love this, so don't worry about this optimization stuff, blah, blah, blah. Okay, because again, they both work. And before I even get into this, I just wanna start off by saying, what matters more than your campaign setup is the ads you create. For a long time, and honestly, I'm still guilty of this, of like, how do I set up the best campaign structure to get the best cost per lead, the best qualified calls, etc. And this does matter, that's why I'm making a video on it. But at the end of the day, if you have a good offer and good ads, and you're sending back the right pixel data for what you want to optimize for, that matters way more than anything I'm gonna share with you in this video, okay? So let's come back to this, but I just wanna preface that because I think too many people put up crappy static ads or video ads that just don't really attract the right quality leads, and they try to fix it with campaign setup, and that's not the move. You wanna make sure that you have good ads. That is like step one for all of this. Now, coming back to this again, okay, ad set budget optimization. Again, this is where we are in full control. We can say, hey, I wanna put $25 in one ad set, $25 in another, and $25 in another, and I can have specific ads in here, or I could have different targeting at the ad set level, so I'm in full control, okay? Now, when you do this, you're gonna see that some of these ad sets are gonna perform better than others. And that's okay, right? So this could say, okay, you spent $25 in this one ad set and you got 4 leads. You got 6 leads when you spent $25 over here, and then this one you just got 2. So your total conversions for the entire campaign are 12. Now, campaign budget would be, hey Meta, I'm gonna give you $75 of my spend. All right, this is all the money I've got. I want you to determine where this should go. So based off of its algorithm, it's gonna look at ad set 1, ad set 2, and ad set 3, and it's gonna more than likely spend most of the money in one ad set. Some of these might get some spend, sometimes they don't get any spend, and that's okay, right? So what typically happens with this is you will get more conversions in the ad set that it chooses. Now, here's the thing, you might have gotten 20 conversions, but depending on what you're optimizing for, that might not be the best thing, okay? Because what Meta does when you select this in the ad set level is we're trying to optimize and say, hey, Meta, I want you to give us the cheapest cost per result possible for the event that I'm selecting. So if you're selecting DMs or you're selecting leads or maybe even low ticket purchases, this CBO campaign might get you the most amount of leads, the most amount of calls, the most amount of low ticket sales, but that doesn't mean that those people are gonna go on and buy a high ticket offer, okay? So that's why I made this video, because this is explicitly for lead generation businesses, because I see a lot of videos that are on ABO and CBO for e-commerce based businesses, and the strategies are different because our sales cycles are longer, right? For some of my like campaigns to my school mini course, it might be 60 to 90 days before someone buys. And if I'm doing a campaign budget optimization and I'm optimizing for a booked call, Meta's not gonna get any of that data for sometimes 14 to 30, 60 days. So how is Meta gonna be able to optimize that funnel with a CBO? It's gonna say which of these is most likely to get the calls booked the fastest, which also doesn't mean they're gonna be the best quality. Again, so I made this video to walk through my current take on this. Now, as we get over to this, I'm just gonna start off by prefacing, I've changed my mind on this so many different times, and certain seasons, one works better than another. So this video you're watching right now, keep following my channel. If you don't subscribe already, go ahead and subscribe because I make a lot of updates to my recommendations based off what I'm seeing in my current ad account. When I first started running ads, I was pretty much all ABO. I was like, I'm gonna control the budget. I'm not gonna let Meta do any of the targeting. I'm gonna be in full control and I'm gonna spend a certain amount per ad set and go that way. And then after Andromeda, I went pretty hard into CBO campaigns and was like, oh, Meta's algorithm's the best, it's gonna do the best. And I found that was the case for some campaigns, but not all of them. So now I'm kind of a little bit in the middle. I use CBOs and ABOs just depending on the optimization events and how the campaign is structured, okay? So without further ado, let's talk about it, okay? I'm gonna start this off with, if you are optimizing your ads for leads or DMs or low ticket sales that you actually want to ascend into high ticket sales, what I typically do for those is an ABO setup, okay? Now, let's talk about the reasoning behind why I would use ABO, not CBO. So when I'm optimizing for leads or DMs or low ticket purchases, again, with the idea and the goal of getting more conversions to actually book calls with, I can't just rely on CBO, because if I put a new ad set inside of a CBO campaign, it's gonna spend on the cheapest cost per result. Okay, again, that's what we optimized it for, cheapest, right? Meta is optimized for the lowest cost, but the lowest cost DM, the lowest cost lead, or the lowest cost lead magnet purchase does not mean that they're actually going to book calls, which is my main KPI in any type of high ticket service, is how many calls did I book and how much did it cost? And if I go CBO, which I've tried plenty of times, what'll end up happening is one of the ads or one of the ad sets inside will get all of the spend and it will be attracting the wrong type of people. And then I have to go in and kill that ad or ad set, and then it will shift the budget over to more ad sets and ads inside. And then I'm kind of starting over again. This really matters when you have a winning ad set or ad inside of a campaign and you drop new ads inside. Every time I've done that, it takes away spin from the winner. But again, that's because I'm optimizing these ads for DMs, leads, or low ticket purchases. So for all of these campaigns, I typically do a ABO structure, okay? That's again where I'm gonna put $100 a day minimum, typically for optimizing for these leads. And I'll put 5 to 10 ads inside of there. I'm not gonna cover targeting in this one. This is just on this campaign structure, but that's what my play gonna be for optimizing for like leads, like front end events that are not actually calls, okay? Now, let's come to the next one, all right? Let's say that I'm optimizing this for qualified schedules or just all schedules, okay? And let's say that the events that I'm getting when I optimize for this, I'm just getting whatever hits the results column, 0 to 1 results per day. So very low amount of pixel fires. Now, this happens more often than not for like a lead magnet funnel or like a school group funnel or something like that. Because again, the lead to purchase window might be, 30 days. Okay, but I often will still try to optimize for schedule, because what Meta does when I'm optimizing for schedule is it's gonna go look for people on the platform that are likely to take the schedule action. So when I do this, sometimes my cost per lead or cost per opt-in will be way higher, but the throughput of those that actually opt into my lead magnet or my course that actually book calls is actually relatively higher than that of when I optimize those ads for leads. Okay, but here's the problem. If I'm only getting if I'm getting no pixel fires per day, it's really hard for Meta to optimize these ads, because Meta is a machine learning algorithm. Whatever hits the results column, Meta is gonna find more people like that. But if I'm not having anyone hit the results column because it's a long-term funnel, I can't use a CBO campaign. So coming back over to here, I'm gonna drag this over to ABO. Because I'm limited by my budget on a low ticket or again, a longer term funnel that I might only get an event per day, I'm gonna have to manage that and do a little bit more media buying. I'm gonna use ABO for that. So the same structure, I might have $150 to $250 a day, and I have to really monitor when I'm doing this, my actual cost per lead and make sure that's still within KPI. And if it's not, I'm gonna have to kill that campaign. So ABO and both of these two structures here that I've already covered are actually gonna require more media buying for you to do. You're gonna have to manage the accounts a little bit better and use a software like Hyros or Cortana or something like that so that you have better eyes on your actual campaigns, okay? So now let's come back over here again. Let's say you're optimizing for schedule and you're getting 2 to 10 results per day. Let's just say you're spending around $500 to $1,000 per day, and we're optimizing for schedules. Well, now we actually have enough pixel fires for the machine to learn to put these ads in front of the right people. So because of that, if I'm getting just a few pixel fires per day, right, I'm gonna put this in a CBO campaign, because again, I'm getting enough pixel fires here for the ads to optimize, for Meta to use its machine learning, and it's super smart, to use the CBO campaign budget to really find the right people for me, okay? So if I'm getting 2 to 10 pixel fires per day, I'll use a CBO campaign, right? Now, let's come back. Let's say I'm getting 10 plus results per day. I'm booking 10 calls a day. Well, at this stage, I'm actually gonna go back towards ABO, okay? And the reason I'm gonna do that is because I want to diversify my Facebook ad account. If I'm using a CBO account, I'm getting 10 pixel fires per day per campaign. What often happens here is there might be, again, like one ad that just gets all of these 10 book calls. And if I'm gonna launch new ads inside of it, some of those ads might not get any spend. And then one day this ad right here is just gonna all of a sudden stop working. And when it stops working, my account is at risk because I have all of my budget going to that one ad. So if I'm getting 10 plus results per day, I'm gonna start to diversify the account, and I might have a structure that looks something like this, where I've got, let's just say, one campaign, and then I'll have 1, 2, and 3 different ad sets. Let's say ad set 1, ad set 2, ad set 3, and they're all at, let's just say, minimum like $250 per day each, $250, $250. And as these things perform well, I'll keep scaling these up by 20%. Every like 2 to 3 days, I'll just keep increasing budget. And then once a week, I'll typically launch a new ad set with an ABO with a new $250 a day in spend to try to find the winners in there to scale up alongside of it. So what this does is it will diversify your account, and it keeps it safe in case all of a sudden one of those ads stops working and now you're trying to figure out what to do next, okay? So that's what I do if I'm getting a lot of schedules. Now, if I'm optimizing for purchases, right? So let's say that you have like a low ticket offer and you don't really care about getting calls in the front end, and you just want to get as many purchases as possible. Now, this could also apply, same thing for like a school funnel or like a lead magnet funnel. If you don't care about getting calls today and you just want to build a list, then I'm going to take that same thing over here and put it into a CBO campaign. Because the goal here is I'm just trying to get as many purchases as I possibly can, or as many leads I possibly can, when I don't care about calls. This will give me the lowest cost per lead I could possibly get, right? Lead / purchase I can get, which is a fine thing when I don't care about calls, right? So that's what I would do. And then with this CBO campaign, oftentimes for this, there's 2 ways of doing this. You could have one campaign, okay? And then inside of here, you could have one ad set. That was like a huge, big push for a lot of people post Andromeda. And then we could have like anywhere from like 20 to 50 ads inside, right? You can do that simplified approach structure, or what some people will sometimes do with this, and honestly, I don't think it matters at all, is you could have like a couple different ad sets inside, right? The square boxes are just ad sets. And then every single week, you've got new ads that you're launching, and these could be anywhere from 3 to 5 ad versions inside of these ad sets, okay? So something like this, right? Again, my handwriting is not the most pretty, okay? Yeah, so that's what that structure could look like. Now, again, both of these can work. I honestly don't think it matters that much. Again, I think the offer positioning and how good you make the ads matters more than this campaign structure here, okay? So that's what we covered so far. And then, the last one in here is, how do I test new ads, which is a huge question. And a lot of people have always done ABO for this. I want to put it like right there. It's a little messy right now, but this could be for either, right? You can test new ads with an ABO or a CBO. If you test new ads with an ABO structure, you would just, again, put in like $100 to $250 a day, right? And you would have new ads inside of here. Let's say you had like 5 or 10 new ads you wanted to test. You can throw them into a new ad set, and if it's getting you good conversions, that's now your new winner. You can make more versions of it. You can put it into a scaling campaign. There's a whole lot of things you can do. I don't want to like cover that too much in this video here, but you can do that with an ABO, or you can even now use the creative testing feature, okay? And you can introduce them into existing ad sets, and you can set ad set minimum budgets on them. Most of the time, I'll say like, I'm probably still kind of like going over here with the ABO for testing new ads, unless my like spend is super limited, or again, like I'm just optimizing for the most amount of conversions over here, right? Like for just this one here, where it's like optimizing for purchases or leads, and I don't care about the cost, oftentimes I'll just throw them into the existing ad set and let them all get spent. But if I really care about the schedules, I'll typically do ABO, right? So that's my play and current take on it. I know this is probably a little bit more advanced and a little bit more heady of a content. A lot of my content is very like, here's how to do this step by step. This is a little bit more conceptual. I hope this helps you guys. Now, for all of this to work, especially when we're optimizing for schedules, it's all going to be based off of pixel conditioning. You have to have good data going back into the account so that we can optimize these campaigns for qualified leads or qualified schedules. So I'm going to link the next video over here that's going to walk through how to set up the right pixel conditioning so you get more qualified leads. So go check that video out next.